Hi everyone, to the cast and crew of both Hollywood and Hollywood North. Happy holidays to every one of you, and I want to make this video for you. Dear Hollywood film and television cast and crew, my name is Anthony and it's very nice to meet you. Hope your time here in Vancouver is going well and having a wonderful experience. From Stanley Park, the games in the PNE Fair, and hockey fans rooting for the Vancouver Canucks. I hope you're experiencing the fun life of Vancouver. But there's something important I want to remind you about. Always be kind and be a rainbow in somebody else's cloud, no matter where they're from or no matter who they are. Kindness and compassion are important because we have people from Vancouver who struggles a lot. Our friends from the First Nations community lost some of their loved ones from racism, crime, negligence, and discrimination, including residential schools. From 1878 to 1996, the Voiceless institution took 3,300 disabled lives in New Westminster. In the wake of George Floyd's story on May 25, 2020, on June 5, 2020, Vancouver friends and the community come together in downtown to share their stories about systematic racism going on in British Columbia. In Vancouver, a Black Canadian neighborhood known as Hogan's Alley was overshadowed and forgotten due to the government's commitment of building the Georgia Viaduct Bridge. Most of the Black historical monuments and archives were being destroyed because of the construction of the bridge. Immigrants are having a difficult time finding a safe, decent home. Especially when it comes to facing many barriers like ostracism, discrimination, isolation, and bullying. Vancouver has so many stories to tell from the outcasts, forgotten, and underprivileged. But the most recent story happening here in Vancouver is the homeless community. East Vancouver is one of the most vulnerable places in the homeless community. Many of them deal with lots of issues such as negligence, abuse, drug addiction, and other personal issues. Classism and implicit discrimination still exist, but it's hard to detect because of our biased behaviors have been normalized. To film and television cast and crew filming in Vancouver, never take things for granted. There are a number of underprivileged people who are struggling to live. Acknowledge them with kindness and compassion. Laziness and drugs are not always the answer to homelessness. Possible reasons include family abandonment, abuse in toxic environments, or being orphaned. They used to work. You can name other jobs: construction workers, former movie actors, carpenters, or philanthropists. It's not the choice they make to be homeless. Relapsing is a recurring issue in homelessness. People cannot help you unless you help yourself if you want to get sober. The hard truth is recovery doesn't last long. In human nature, we can say harmless things that can be harmful. You don't look homeless. According to the article written by Kayla Robbins for Invisible People, Kayla exemplified why saying you don't look homeless is the worst thing to say to a person who's dealing with homelessness. This one seems harmless on the surface, but when you say it, it actually reveals your deeply held beliefs about homeless people and the stereotypes you brought into. The person you're talking to may not look like the disheveled, dirty person with a shopping cart and a cardboard sign that you see in your mind's eye when you picture a homeless person, but that's the only one type of homeless. Homelessness affects anyone: a preteen, teen, child, adult, senior, big people, or small people. They come in many shapes and sizes. Many people can experience homelessness in many kinds of races as minorities. Why don't you just get a job? Many homeless people get annoyed because they already work. Jobs aren't always the answer. Believe it or not, do you know several of them can't afford education? They also need the money to get extra support. Do you know there are people with disabilities who deal with homelessness? Nowadays, it is difficult to find a job. Everything needs requirements. Applicants need at least 80% average English 12 or need to have 80% at least in math. Some of them have learning disabilities like dyslexia, ADHD, or hyperlexia. Illiteracy is real. Some struggle with reading and writing. Approaching them or suggesting them to stay in a shelter home. It may be helpful or a good deed to suggest shelter homes, but it's not always the case. Some of them went to some homeless shelter services. They have deadlines, requirements, and other strict rules they may not agree with. Homeless people should be treated with kindness. Society shouldn't ostracize them. They're human beings like us with feelings. You are a movie star, but that doesn't mean you have the license to trash others. Don't treat them disrespectfully. Sometimes, not just movie or TV stars, but regular people can get caught up with materialism to forget to share our goods with those who are poor and underprivileged. Remember your family, neighbors, friends, and acquaintances. Not everyone will realize this, but classism is real. Classism is subtle discrimination. The tricky part, acknowledging class privilege, is they are very hard to detect because it's not shown. Unfortunately, people of color and minorities hit homelessness so hard that their stories aren't being told enough. Everyone deserves to be treated with respect. In classism, here's how it works. It's not just on your skin color people will judge you. It's your personality and attitudes based on biases and generalization assumptions. If you come from a wealthy background, people will give you a simple pass. But if you come from a poor background, people will be quick to judge and won't accept you. Keep in mind not to get too spoiled. Homelessness hits huge in the LGBTQ community, disability community, BIPOC community, and the mental health community. LGBTQ community. There are some families who are supportive of their kids who came out, but some aren't. Many youths from the LGBTQ face homelessness hard because of being abused, neglected, and ostracized because of coming out. Disability community. Another vulnerable group that is at risk of homelessness is the disabled. There are several reasons: ostracization, prejudice, lack of social support, and accessible needs, including high expenses and the cost of social housing rents. BIPOC community. Minorities and people of color go through homelessness. Some examples of people who are going through this phase are First Nations Canadians, racialized groups, and refugees coming to Canada. According to the Racialized Communities article by the Homeless Hub, some reasons these individuals may face homelessness because of historical trauma and oppression. Mental health community. Individuals deal with many illnesses like bipolar, schizophrenia, and anxiety, and others too. Another issue they deal with is alcoholism or drug abuse. Some deal with poverty. You can decrease homelessness by helping others. It doesn't have to be big helps. It can be also small helps. Doesn't matter how you approach. You can help the homeless community in other ways you can. Donate used but good condition clothes to thrift stores. Work or volunteer at the homeless shelter. Say hello or have conversation with them. Read books about homelessness and get educated. Or donate food cans to the food bank. People who are struggling with homelessness teach us an important lesson: gratitude and humbleness. They teach us to never forget where you come from. Fame's a hard thing to swallow. Bounded by entertainment, never forget your true self. Always be humble and thoughtful to others. Hollywood. It's the city of dreams and superficiality. It's the place where you forget about the really interesting things in life. In Hollywood, you can lose your memory and your vision of the future. You can lose everything because you can lose yourself. Sometimes the person you know before may not be the same. Don't forget to love your family and friends or neighbors. If you feel scared of being approached by a person struggling with homelessness, it's okay because it happens all the time. I also too have moments too. It's important to validate what you're feeling. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. Important to have boundaries and to politely decline. It's okay to say no, as long as you don't insult them or yell. To all the cast and crew of the film TV industry, if you can in your small way, please listen to the homeless community. Don't get wrapped up with your fame. There are also human beings like us too. Helping a person may not fully change their lives, but with a small act of kindness can brighten their day. Thanks so much. Take good care and stay safe. Sincerely and truly yours, Anthony.
After 9 months, it is our last day at Mogilino's social care home. The director has agreed to talk to me on camera. When I look at the condition of the children in the bedridden room, I don't know why the staff don't actually care. They don't seem to care or do anything about it.
Почиват преди всичко от належащо болните, тия с които са с много големи зъбове. Вярно е, че и не се полагат и много грижи. Аз първото, нали, го мисля, нали, че са малко като персонал, пък работата е обемна. Да се измия децата, да се дезинфекцира всичко, да бъде нахранено. Другата част, която трябва вече да му се разнообразява живота, то е най-елементарно нещо. Най-елементарно нещо. Има за нещо, за което да съжалявам, Първо са тия сгради, че много, много пари влязоха в тях. Значи той ако се затвори, смятай, че за 2 месеца ще бъде ограбен. Много, много пари. И залата се изгради, абсолютно всичко. Насякъде има телевизори, насякъде има касетофони. Всичко направи. Даже днеска са им купила 3 плажни чадъра и там, като море ще им го направи. Басейнчето ще ги сложим, нали? Нещо елементарно, но все пак нещо разнообразно. И много съжалявам и за мене, защото, да ти кажа, аз мисля, че съм добър директор. Но те не стават. Значи те ме провалят. Що ме тъй? Да се затваря.
I really find it very, very hard to look at Vasi when she's getting thinner and thinner, her body is wasting away, her leg is broken, and nobody seems to notice. Nobody noticed but us. And I have no understanding of how that can happen to a child in care.
Това е просто, тя няма нещо тъй конкретно, че да се вкара в болница. Значи няма пневмония, не ангина, не е нещо да си, нали, ако си краката е костите, ако са начупени, ходим, бинтоваме, връщаме си като ти поискаш да живее до 100 години. Самото заболяване си, разбери го ти нещо. Просто няма какво да му помогнем на това дете. Един вид трябва да се остави да си живее това, което е. Сега, истината е такава, значи. Ако сега питаш някой доктор, ще ти кажа съвсем други работи. Но истината е така.
What do you do when one of the teenage girls is pregnant?
Сексуално насилие не може да бъде тук, при положение, че работят само жени. Мъжете са тук много по-малко, нали. Не са такви, може да са мързеливи, са прости наши хора, обаче не са така. От страна на децата има. Има.
The children, between them, there is the children, not somebody from the staff to the children, but between the children.
They have sex.
Yeah.
But there are no pregnancies.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Ама питам, какво ще стане, ако нещо, не дай си Боже, стане, какво ще ги правим? Ще ги заведа на лекар и толкова. Не мога по друг начин, нали? Не мога и да ги опазя, защото те сега през нощта 2 човека, какво ще ги опазят, нали? А пък имахме, извинявай, нали, ако искаш да го преведи, нали, имахме такова, извиках хирург, който е от Русе, 2 доктори са, да ги прегледат дали са девствени. Нашите от 4-та група никой не излезе, само 1 или 2. Значи не, че аз съм виновна като директор, като ръководител тук.
Is the government responsible for this situation?
За нашите проблеми няма и предалната. За нашите проблеми тук са виновни хората. Те ме предадоха.
Are the staff and the carers responsible for what's happening to the children?
Да, може.
Are you responsible for the condition of the children here? Yes or no?
Не, до сега съм направила всичко, каквото трябваше. Го направих. За персонала, за децата, за дома като цяло. Направих го. Там е по-различно. Там е хубаво. Даже аз искам да остана там, толкова е хубаво.
Where will the children go? What have you got to say about that?
Не да отидат от дом в дом. Или да отидат в дом за възрастни, където и тук може да е, нали, лошо, обаче там е съвсем.
In response to our investigation, the Bulgarian government ignored specific criticisms of Mogilino, but issued a broader statement saying that deinstitutionalization of children is high on the government's agenda. They pointed out that there are now over 30% fewer children in certain institutions than there were in 2001. They said that municipal mayors are in overall charge of social services, but that institute directors should supervise staff performance and care delivery. Children in state care, they said, are guaranteed general health, specialised medical and dental care, rehabilitation and specific therapies. and a wide range of provision is in place to meet their educational needs and to prevent abuse. In conclusion, the government states that not a single institution has received a bad or unsatisfactory assessment for the health services they provide.
So he's very happy and he's had an operation on his mouth.
От тата вече ти оправил, не му такава кнепната от та. Няма, той вече като моята има, като другите. Мога да говоря от оправил от тата. Влезе вече добре, доволен.
Didi's new friends are very important to her, but one of them is leaving soon as her 3 years here are coming to an end.
Диди, ще ти липсвам ли?
Да.
Нали сега си тръгвам след 1 месец. Ти си ми като сестричка.
Диди, ще има ли кубети?
А мама взимаше ли те? Мама.
Тя от Могирим не ме е взимала.
А тя има майка, нали? Може и да нямаш родители. Аз съм по домове години. От малка. Майка ми почина. Сега искаш и при мама? При мама.
Сега искам.
И сега искам.
Сега. Но тя не чува пак да ме. Не знам дали знае.
Кога я вижда последно?
Тя около 30 ноември до 2005 година. Да.
Диди, я да те видя.
Меката като прецива. Много ме е меко косата. Бухнала.
Така много се харесва. Диди, преди да си отидеш, ще се снимаме.
Да.
И ще ти дам снимки да ме имаш и аз теб. И ще идвам да те виждам.
Да.
През свободното си време. Няма да те забравя. А ти ще ме забравиш?
Няма те забравя, и аз те помня.
Like Didi, Vaski's mother also abandoned her to a life in institutes.
И кой ще ви сега, Васки?
Да, супа.
Домати.
Да, и столю.
И какво?
Столю, полю.
Ладно, ладно. Хубаво ли? Хубаво ли, ма?
Ала.
Хубаво ли? Айде, Васки. Вечера пак, нали?
Recently, Vaski's mother went to the local government and asked if her daughter could be moved closer to where she lived so she could visit her.
Иска да се качи на
Дръси
колата.
играчката.
Оти се качим на колата.
Да, и ще спим сега. Сега ще спим.
И на колата утре, лело. Утре. Иди и аз.
Да.
Later this year, Vaski will be moving into a smaller group home, and the hope is her mother will visit.
Това е, което ми се случва, е голямо събитие за мен, но го се вълнувам всички да общувам с учениците и приятели. Доволна съм, че живея и уча в ЦЦП са и княз Борис първи мои близки. Искам ли ми се по-скоро да дойде лятото и да отиде на море.
Milan, thank you for my Pinocchio. I shall take it with me
Ще си я взема с мен.
because we have to go now.
Ние ще си тръгваме сега. Ще си ходим.
Oh, Milan.
Ще плачеш. За кой най-много ще плачеш? За Кейт най-много ще плачеш.
Ще ги изпратим ли? Айде, пони за ръчичка Кейт до вратата да я изпратиш.
Okay, we'll go to the car. You come to the car with us. Milan and Misho will live in this small group home for the rest of their lives.
Милене, тя няма да ходи в Могилино. Тя си отива при семейството. Довиждане на Кейт. Дай една целувка. Не, тя няма да ходи в Могилино.
Няма да ходи в Могилино. Не. Няма да ходи в Могилино. Друга дучка. Няма да ходи.
Айде.
Like Didi, Vaski, Milan and Misho, 48 of Mogilino's 73 inmates have now been moved to better homes. 25 children are still in Mogilino, but the care they receive has greatly improved. But there are still enormous challenges ahead for the Bulgarian government. Many more smaller family-style homes need to be created for the 8,000 children still remaining in large institutes across the country. Bulgaria is one of the newest and poorest members of the European family, and the time has come for a united European rescue of these condemned children. They surely must not be abandoned again.
this. This is fun. I love it. You love us.
Robin Trocchi just can't stop smiling. Being in Lima, ground zero for Glee, is a familiar, exciting place.
To see what Robin has accomplished in her life is so inspiring for all of us.
Miramore Industries is a private, nonprofit corporation which provides training and employment for people in Allen County with developmental disabilities. They took a break in their workday to welcome Robin and her sister, Sharon Miller. Robin handed out autographs.
This is great.
And people took pictures with the star.
Cheese.
Many were even watching Glee when she walked in the door. She was in awe.
For me, this has been just an incredible experience. When Robin was born in the 50s, and at that time there was no thought that anything like this could ever happen. The doctors told my parents that she would never be able to learn anything, never really be able to do anything. And Rob has just spent her life proving those doctors wrong.
And now she's an actress. Jean Sylvester on Glee, one of the only people Sue Sylvester shows her soft side to.
I'll just say, I didn't mean to shove that kid. I tripped. Excuse works like a charm. I use it all the time.
And Robin has much love for her co-star.
Jane, follow my lines.
And Robin's real-life sister could not be more proud.
She's pretty much done everything she's set out to do. She's really someone who's followed her dreams and worked hard.
Thank you.
How's she doing?
Great. She asks about you. She's been watching you on TV.
I need to get here more often.
Oh, you get here plenty. Jean, your little sister's here to see you.
Hey, Sue.
Hi, honey.
My sister's famous.
Got that right. I got something for you. What's this?
Wow, pom-pom, thank you.
That's for you. What do you feel like doing today?
Can we read today?
Look what I have.
Red Riding Hood.
All right, your favorite book. You want to start at the beginning?
Yes.
All right. You ready?
Ready.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived in the forest. Whenever she went out, the little girl wore a red riding cloak, so everyone in the village called her Little Red Riding Hood.